What's poppin', gang? I'm back once again with another great WWE casual conversation. The state of the WWE, number 11. We got a lot to get to. Rhea, Ripley, Io Sky, Evolution, Cody Rhodes, some things in terms of War Games, Tommy Dreamer. So tap in, spread the word of the Wrestling Takeover Podcast, and enjoy a great audio conversation.
Welcome to...
You're listening to the Wrestling Takeover.
What is your name?
With your host, Jordan Turner, who's always going to keep it real.
Come on, King.
Inside and outside the ring.
Let me make myself clear. He's got the fans behind him, King.
It's time to take over, King.
Are you ready? He's all fired up now, King. The Takeover.
Let's go.
Man, y'all know what it is. Welcome everybody back to a brand new episode of the Wrestling Takeover Podcast. Man, we got a great episode. We got a great audio conversation for you guys today. So if y'all could do me a solid, man, before we get right into things, man, if y'all want to do me a solid, remember this is your new home for bold takes, real talk, and a creative perspective. We keep it real on the Wrestling Takeover Podcast. We are unbiased with our opinions and our hot takes and our just views on all things WWE. All right. You want the real talk. You want someone that is going to be just brutally honest and bring a perspective that you could relate to. Tap into the Wrestling Takeover Podcast. This is the most creative and honest podcast in the wrestling space. If you're tired of the same recycled bullshit that you guys hear every single week when it comes to wrestling talk, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Spread the word of the Wrestling Takeover Podcast. Word of mouth goes a long way. Also support by commenting down below on YouTube. Recent episodes, upcoming episodes, past episodes. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. YouTube.com/jttakeover. And like I said, spread the word, man. Also, audio platforms, man. Y'all know what it is. Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your audio-based content, be sure to tap into the Wrestling Takeover Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back. I know I did not cover Monday Night Raw. I want to get that out of the way right now. And I want to get this out of the way before we get right into today's conversational topics in and around the world of the WWE. I did not cover Monday Night Raw this week. Things were tight. I was at work. It came on at 3. Wasn't able to do it. I feel like Monday Night Raw has been a pretty just forgettable show. I will say I'm not all that emotionally invested into what's going on. I want to stay consistent with you guys. I want to try to put out at least the minimum of 3 videos per week. And I am thinking about taking a break when it comes to Monday Night Raw reviews. It's just I'm too busy with other things. And also, I haven't been that thrilled with what's going on with Monday Night Raw. But if I can get things back on track with Monday Night Raw, I would love to do the 10-minute review. But like I said, things are heating up. I got a lot of things coming up, man, and I just don't really have the time to cover Monday Night Raw. But if I do, I will get back to it. It's the same thing with SmackDown. And this is why I have decided to start coming up with more new concepts of conversations, stuff that I want to kind of talk about in its own totality. And speaking of that, you guys are going to be listening to 2 new upcoming audio conversation videos. And I am going to be talking about 2 particular people in its own separate video. They're going to get their own separate video. We're going to first talk about Rhea Ripley. So you guys can look forward to that between tomorrow and Friday about the hate that Rhea Ripley has been getting. I'm kind of confused on it. I'm going to give my 2 cents. We're going to do a separate video about that. I'll quickly, not too deep into it today. I will talk about it today, but I really want to take a deep dive into a real just honest conversation about the hate that Rhea Ripley has been receiving from the wrestling community. We're going to talk about that this week, so you guys can look forward to that video. Also, the return of Roman Reigns, the head of the table, the tribal chief, the original OTC. You feel me? We're going to talk about that as well. That's going to be another Audiomation type of video coming out this week as well. So you guys are going to get 3 upcoming videos that you guys can look forward to. Pop in your earphones, headphones if you guys are at work or the gym. And remember, this is an Audiomation YouTube podcast. All right. We do not do video over here. We are Audiomation. All right. So if you guys love listening to stuff on the go, like I said, if you're at the gym, you're cleaning it around the house, just doing things on your own time, and you want to pop in them headphones, and you want to listen to a great discussion on all things WWE and someone that's going to keep it real with you guys, and a podcast that you guys can listen to and you guys can also relate to, and you guys can say to yourself, you know what, I actually agree with this dude. He brings valid points to the table. Tap into the Wrestling Takeover Podcast. And like I said, you guys are going to be listening to that going forward with the hate that Rhea Ripley gets. You guys are going to be listening to that. And then you're going to be listening to the return of Roman Reigns as well. So you guys can look forward to those 2 podcasts dropping later this week. I'm thinking of dropping the Rhea Ripley one tomorrow and then doing the Roman Reigns one either Thursday or Friday. I'm not too sure when I'm going to do it, but those 2 videos, y'all can look forward to that. Enough of me spatting, enough of me talking, y'all. Let's get right into the thing, bruh. We got to talk about Rhea Ripley and IYO Sky Evolution. Yo, what's going on? What the details? What's my personal opinion in regarding to the matchup that was just confirmed? And you know, here's the thing, though. We kind of all knew this was going to happen. And this is what I don't quite understand people's, I would say, viewpoint in this type of situation. All right, we're going to break it down. I'm going to give you guys my honest perspective from my vantage point regarding the announcement that Rhea Ripley and IYO Sky are going to go one-on-one at Evolution. All right, but first I want to read the report. This came before Monday. This came out before Monday Night Raw. All right, bodyslam.net, they put out a post on social media, or someone took a snippet of the report and put it out on social media. So this individual, Elite Rocket on Twitter, they put out on Twitter, per bodyslam.net, there have been internal discussions within WWE's creative team about booking Rhea Ripley versus IYO Sky at Evolution 2 for the women's world title. Come to find out on Monday Night Raw, I mean, we got the match confirmed. You feel me? We got the match confirmed. And a lot of people, a lot of discord within the wrestling space were giving their 2 cents regarding this news and this announcement right off the bat. I'm going to give you mine, okay? You know, you guys who are the OGs and listen to me every single week, you guys would know I always keep it real. I keep it 100, never bullshit. You guys get my raw, authentic opinion about any topic related to WWE. I'm going to give it to you guys. I'm going to give it to you. If you disagree, if you agree, I'm going to give you my opinion. Rhea Ripley and IYO Sky, the people that are upset, let's talk about the Rhea Ripley factor first. Let's talk about the Rhea Ripley factor. For anybody upset about Rhea Ripley. And again, I don't want to say too much because I want to go a little bit more in depth when I talk about Rhea Ripley in a separate video. But I will say this. For people that are upset about Rhea Ripley constantly in the world title picture and, oh, it was only a matter of time before Rhea Ripley got into the title scene. That's the type of narrative and the perception that I've been hearing on social media, especially on Monday Night Raw when they put out the graphic. You know, you guys got to understand something. Like, real talk. Y'all got to understand something. WWE has done IYO Sky a complete disservice. A complete disservice as champion. I don't know what the fuck WWE has done to IYO as the champ. I mean, it's like, bruh, like, you don't know what to do with IYO Sky. I don't understand. She hasn't really defended the title. She hasn't really been on TV in a prominent role, in a prominent capacity. And then we get the build towards Evolution, and now you want to present IYO on television, right? Speaking of IYO's perspective, IYO is undefeated. I'm not sure a lot of people know this, but IYO Sky is undefeated against Rhea Ripley. What the fuck does IYO Sky have to prove to Rhea Ripley? She's undefeated against Rhea Ripley. She went out there and said, Adam Pearce gave me the green light to come up with my own opponent to face at Evolution, and I choose you. My nigga, we knew that was going to happen. So it's surprising that people are surprised with this decision. And from IYO Sky's standpoint, she has nothing to prove. We all knew the match was going to go down. That's what I want people to really understand. We all knew this match was going to happen at Evolution. Oh, Stephanie Vaquer and IYO. Nah, that was not, respectfully, that was not going to happen. Stephanie Vaquer is going to get her time. She's going to get her flowers. Everybody loves Stephanie Vaquer. Everybody wants Stephanie Vaquer right into the world title scene. I understand that. I love Stephanie Vaquer, but right now it ain't her time. It's not her time. Her time will come, and when it is, we will know. Okay? Rhea Ripley, on the other hand, they were trying to put Rhea Ripley in a position that is not in the world title scene, and they gave up. They said, you know what? Yeah, we're going to put her in the world title scene. We held off for a little bit too long, and everybody knows we're going to have her face IYO. This was in the plans for quite some time now. We knew this was going to happen, but y'all got to understand and I'm talking to the people who are frustrated. For those who are frustrated, I understand. I get it. I genuinely get it. You're frustrated. You're tired of Rhea Ripley always in the world title scene. You're tired of her being in the world title scene. But y'all motherfuckers got to understand something. Rhea Ripley is one of or the biggest women's star in the WWE. Y'all got to understand that. And if you do understand it and you just don't care, shame on you. Shame on you, because you know Rhea Ripley is the biggest, superstar. The biggest in popularity in the women's division. It's Rhea Ripley. You feel me? And the hate that Rhea Ripley has been receiving is very, very odd to me. It's very odd to me. I'm not going to go in depth. I'll save that for the separate video that I'm going to put out. But the Rhea Ripley hate is very weird. Very, very weird. IYO, she's undefeated against Rhea Ripley. What else does she have to prove against Rhea Ripley? In Rhea Ripley's point of view, she has a lot to prove. She knows that she can beat IYO Sky. But what does IYO Sky have to prove against Rhea Ripley? Nothing. And I know a lot of people. I'm going to say it right now. People are flat out scared that IYO SKY is going to lose the title to Rhea Ripley. And I'm going to fantasy book. If you are new to the podcast and you're just finding the Wrestling Takeover Podcast, number one, appreciate y'all. Love you guys. Number two, I fantasy book a lot on my podcast. A lot. More than others. So let's play creative for a second regarding this situation. Okay. Rhea Ripley, she loses the match. So what's next for Rhea Ripley? I would have Rhea Ripley, after the match is over, they shake hands, they hug, whoop-de-whoop, whatever. I'm having Rhea Ripley snap and turn heel and completely decimate IYO SKY to the point where IYO SKY is written off of television. She can't defend her title. And Rhea Ripley's a heel. Now, you think about that, you say to yourself, yo, that's fucking stupid because Rhea Ripley is the most popular person on the roster. I'm just coming up with ideas here. That's all I'm doing. This isn't concrete. I am not a creative writer. I'm spitballing right now. That's all I'm doing. I have no sources. I have none of that stuff. Okay? I'm just talking. That's an idea. Rhea Ripley, she loses again to IYO SKY, and she gets incredibly frustrated, and she takes her venom off towards IYO SKY. She turns heel. She cuts a promo. She's sick of the fucking fans turning on her, and she cuts a brutal, deep, and I mean deep promo. She uses her actual real name instead of Rhea Ripley. She cuts the fans who continue to disrespect her. She cuts them deep, real deep. That's one option. Two option. She beats IYO SKY. She beats IYO SKY clean. No interference. No bullshit. And we get this feud continuing into SummerSlam. Whatever. For people who are afraid that IYO might lose the title, you should be afraid because the possibility of IYO losing is pretty high. Now, for me, I would have IYO SKY win and retain the title, and I would really consider turning Rhea Ripley heel. You guys got to understand something now. This is a perfect opportunity for Rhea Ripley to turn heel, and people love the cool, smooth bad guy. They love this cool, smooth bad guy. Rhea Ripley can fit right into that. She can fit right into that. Roman Reigns was a heel, but he was smooth. He was cool. You feel me? Rhea Ripley can kind of portray something like that. You understand? So that's a possibility. Or you can have IYO win straight up. We get no heel turn from Rhea. We move on with our business. You can do another thing where IYO wins, but Rhea Ripley's hand was on the bottom rope. The referee didn't see it. We get the rematch at SummerSlam. Or Rhea Ripley cheats. We get no heel turn. Rhea Ripley cheats to win the title, and we get the rematch at SummerSlam. I'm spitballing. I'm just coming up with scenarios. But people, y'all should have known that this was a possibility to be taking place. A lot of people wanted Stephanie Vaquer and IYO SKY. It's too soon. It's too soon. I feel like the plan for the women's world title at WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas again. I personally feel like the plan should be Rhea Ripley versus Stephanie Vaquer at WrestleMania 42 for the women's world title. That's my personal opinion. Who knows? Let's wait and see. And I want to talk about IYO for a second too. WWE has done IYO a disservice as the champion. I'm pretty pissed about that. I'm a big fan of IYO SKY. The love and admiration that she's been receiving from the audience is great. WWE, like I said, has been doing her a disservice. People want IYO SKY versus Asuka. at SummerSlam. The only way we can get that and provide that is IYO winning and beating Rhea Ripley. I do hope that the WWE considers taking the idea that I laid out to you guys right now with IYO beating Rhea Ripley being pissed off and turning heel on IYO, okay? And she goes on a rampage. She does what she has to do. We move on with that. She goes to somebody else. And the match between Asuka and IYO Sky is official for SummerSlam. That could be a main event of night one. Who knows? But a lot of people want IYO Sky versus Asuka at SummerSlam. That's what they want. And I hope that's what we get. So we'll see what happens. Speaking of Evolution, I want to talk about Evolution, man. So a lot of Discord. We're going to continue with the women's theme here on the Wrestling Takeover Podcast. A lot of people are putting out their opinion about Evolution. There's no hype. WWE doesn't really have concrete plans. They're booking, the women very late. Why is the pay-per-view happening on a Sunday? WWE isn't really showing love. People are talking. This person on social media, I've seen her a lot on social media. Vin at Who Is Vindictive on X. They put out this on Twitter. I see a lot of disappointment from women wrestling fans about the Evolution Premier Live event. And honestly, it's valid and fair. I think many of us were hoping for nostalgia and surprises, and so far, it's just not delivering. In a way, it reminds me of the difference between the Women's Royal Rumble in 2018 and 2019. But also, it has been 7 years since the first Evolution, and it is not crazy for us to feel underwhelmed. I am still going to watch. I am still going to be very excited as hell for it. I can't wait. I just wish the circumstances were better. Even with the two major players in the division injured, this could have been executed way more strategically. I completely agree with that. She finished up by saying, I feel like there are so many possible dream matches or better ways to use women like Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Naomi, Nia, and others that are just not happening. Thank you for your attention. My TED Talk. If you know the TED Talk, you know what it is. I do my TED Talk every single week. And I hope you guys appreciate my TED Talks. Hope you guys appreciate them. I'm just being honest with my opinions, guys. And yeah, listen, I feel like WWE has done a poor job in the execution of making Evolution feel important in some way, shape, or form. And it's just disappointing to see that the WWE really hasn't garnered any any importance about the women, bro. And I just don't know what the WWE has in store, has in mind for the women's Evolution pay-per-view. It kind of seems like WWE is just throwing stuff at the wall and trying to see what sticks. That's the perception that I get. It seems like WWE put them on Sunday to just kind of throw away like, yeah, we got the Evolution, a Premier Live event. We got it. Shut the fuck up about it now. You got your pay-per-view. We need to move on to SummerSlam. That's what we care about. We don't care about Evolution. We care more about Saturday night's main event than Evolution. That's just the perception that I have about it. Maybe you guys feel differently. That's fine. That's understandable. I want Evolution to succeed too. But let's face facts. Let's face reality of the situation and where we are currently sitting right now. WWE has not put in any type of emotional investment into the Evolution pay-per-view and its build. They have not. I'm not lying. All right. They have not. And I don't feel like the card, in a way is, giving us that excitement feel. Now, no matches really have been announced outside of the women's tag team title match that's going to be taking place with Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, the tag team champions. You guys know my opinion on that. If you're new, my opinion is very simple. I just don't care about the women's tag team titles. I just don't think they're valuable and important whatsoever. I don't care who's holding those titles. I'm so sorry. I just don't care. That is just my personal opinion. But we got the women's tag team titles. We have Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley, which I believe that will be the main event of the show. I don't know what Tiffany Stratton does. I would love to see Tiffany Stratton go one-on-one with Trish Stratus. That's just me personally. I don't know how Trish Stratus is going to get involved. I know she will potentially have a match at Evolution. I could see Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I could see Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair becoming a tag team and being within the tag team division. That would be something different. I respect both ladies. Again, I don't care who holds those titles because WWE has not really done, the division, the respect. If I had to come up with a word, I would probably say the respect that those titles deserve. They come up with brand new teams just because. Case in point, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Let's be real. They have nothing going on right now. So you came up with the storyline, which is great. You're using them. God bless. I love it. Okay? I love it. But at the same time, you're using them in a way and you're putting them in a division that there's not really a division. You guys got to understand that. But if you're a fan of the women's tag team titles, God bless you. God bless you, but I just don't care about them. That's my piece on the women's tag team title situation. Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton, I feel, should be the one-on-one match for the women's title. And then Naomi coming in and cashing in her Money in the Bank, her briefcase, against Tiffany Stratton after she defeats Trish Stratus. That's just an idea. I'm talking, like I said, I have been saying that for the past, I would say, couple weeks. So we'll see what happens with that. But Evolution, man, this is the, theoretically the card. I would say Eboot on social media. If you know Eboot, you know him on Twitter. He says, theoretically, we're looking at Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. That, along with Io and Rhea, is one of the matches I'm definitely looking forward to most. Definitely looking forward to. We got JC Jane versus Jordan Grace. That could be a sleeper hit. We got the women's battle royale. I believe the winner of that will get an opportunity at one of the women's world titles at, I would say, Clash of Champions, I believe, because Monday Night Raw, Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis did announce something like that. So whoever wins this battle royal, now you got thinking, who's going to win this battle royal? I personally, if I had to pen the three women that I would consider to win this battle royal, Nikki Bella, AJ Lee, if AJ Lee returns, AJ Lee, Nikki Bella, and a returning Bianca Belair. I would have Bianca Belair, Nikki Bella, and or a returning AJ Lee. I'm just talking, like I said, I don't know who is going to be in the battle royale. Maybe it can be someone from NXT. I'm cool with that too. Another name that I'm thinking of is Stephanie Vaquer. She can win the battle royal. A lot of people are picking her to win the battle royal. So I got a couple names. Stephanie Vaquer, the most popular one, AJ Lee, if she returns. Again, I'm just blowing smoke with AJ Lee. She probably is not going to return, but I got to come up with a name, and she came to mind. Nikki Bella as well can be a potential candidate to win the Battle Royal. So we'll see what happens. The winner of that will get a title shot at Clash of Champions. So you're kind of thinking who makes sense to win the Battle Royal. Bianca Belair for the return. Stephanie Vaquer. Nikki Bella, one last run. AJ Lee, one last run. Who knows? We'll see what happens with that. We got Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton. I believe that will be the one-on-one match at Evolution. And then we got the obvious announcement of Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. So it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of options. People are probably going to be upset that Naomi's not on the card, but Naomi got the Money in the Bank briefcase, man. And again, if the announcement is Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus, I'm telling WWE Creative, you need to pull the trigger on a Naomi World title win at Evolution if the match is Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton. Who knows? Who knows? Because again, let's talk about it. What if Bianca Belair doesn't return in the Women's Battle Royal? What if Bianca Belair returns when Naomi is trying to attempt to cash in? You feel me? That's a possibility. Again, I'm blowing smoke. I'm just talking. But that's a possibility. I got to bring it up. And if I don't bring it up, I'm not doing my job. I try to bring up every single variable and every single possibility to the table. I'm creative. I'm a creative person. I got to come up with theories and scenarios and ideas of what makes sense. The difference between me and a lot of cats in the community, these motherfuckers just talk. They just talk. They have no purpose in their ideas. They have no value with their opinions. They're talking, and that's totally fine. I'm talking too. The difference between me and them is I have a purpose to my madness. No pun intended. All right. Shout out to Julia, the new United States champ. Shout out to Julia, the Prince of Madness here. But yeah, man, I when I talk and I speak, I come up with ideas. They have meaning behind it. I don't just talk just to come up with ideas that don't make no logical sense. That's the difference between me and a lot of cats in the community. Respect to everybody, but you know, you come up with creative ideas. You keep coming up with creative ideas because you know you're creative. That's what I do. All right. You might not like the ideas. Fine. But y'all got to respect it for sure. So I think Evolution, man, I hope it has the potential to be good. We don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. But Evolution is going to be interesting, man, to see the whole card and where people are going to be placed. So it is what it is. Let's talk about War Games, man. War Games, WWE announced as of yesterday. This broke social media here. People giving their 2 cents in their opinion. WWE put out an official press Twitter tweet. They put a Twitter tweet. What the fuck am I talking about? They put out a tweet, all right? And it read as follows. WWE in partnership with the Padres and the San Diego Tourism Marketing District have announced that tickets for Survivor Series War Games on Saturday, November 29th in San Diego will go on sale starting Friday, July 11th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Time. They're bringing back War Games. And as you can see in the photo, this is very, very interesting. So we got Rhea Ripley. We got Roman Reigns. We got Damian Priest. We got John Cena. We got Becky Lynch. We got CM Punk. We got Bianca Belair. We got Cody Rhodes, Penta, Tiffany Stratton, Seth Rollins, and Rey Mysterio. And then we round up with Jacob Fatu, Naomi, and Jey Uso. Right off the bat, you can kind of tell where WWE is going to go. I'm just saying, I actually been saying what I'm about to say for quite some time now. Look at the posters to where you think WWE is, potentially heading. WWE put out a poster with Evolution, and it got people talking. You know what I mean? And they're doing the same thing with Survivor Series. So that poster right there is very interesting. The problem is, and we gotta tell the truth in the wrestling community, man. We gotta tell the truth. You might not like it, but we gotta tell the truth here. How many people are a fan of the War Games concept? Dead ass. How many people that are listening to this are a fan of the War Games concept? Because I'm not going to hold you. I'm starting to get over the concept. They do it too much. It happens every year, and it loses its appeal. What WWE should do is do it once every couple of years. You do that every couple of years, the gimmick will still feel fresh. It would still feel very important. If you do it every fucking year, it's not going to feel as important. Real talk. It's not going to feel as important, right? Y'all know that. And a lot of people, when this tweet got put out, a lot of people had the same sentiment that I had. Like, yeah, we doing War Games again? The concept loses value. The concept loses its appeal. It does. It does. So I don't know what the WWE has in mind. You can kind of tell where they're going. Got Roman there. We got Cody. We got Punk. We have John Cena, Jey Uso, Naomi, Jacob Fatu, and Seth Rollins, Tiffany. It's going to be interesting to see where things go and to see how things shake out. I could definitely see Team Rhea Ripley versus Team Tiffany Stratton, or Team Rhea Ripley versus Team Naomi. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But, I feel like War Games, personally, for me, has kind of lost its appeal. That's just me. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all might think differently about War Games and the perception of War Games. Maybe you guys are still, are still a fan of the War Games concept. Maybe you guys aren't and kind of over the concept. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of the War Games concept coming back. And do you feel like it should take a break? Because I definitely do. Let's talk about Busted Open Radio. Busted Open Radio, man. Tommy Dreamer offered his analyst on why he believes John Cena's current heel turn isn't fully connecting with fans in the intended way. So, on Busted Open Radio, I seen this, and I wanted to give my 2 cents into it. So, Tommy Dreamer's offered his analyst as why he believes John Cena's current heel run isn't fully connected with fans in the intended way. Dreamer explained that despite Cena's in-ring actions, the audience continues to cheer him. He says, quote, "I still don't think the heel turn has worked because they still cheer him," Tommy said. Well, Roman Reigns was a heel and people cheered Roman Reigns. So he didn't say that, I just said that. So it's kind of weird, but Dreamer said he argued for a star of Cena's magnitude, it's impossible to commit to being a villain 24/7 due to his outside obligations and public persona. He's right on that, for sure. He continued, the thing that John Cena can't, do that I would do, if somebody approached me in a grocery store, okay, this is kind of ridiculous what he's saying here, but I get what he's saying, but it's fucking ridiculous. But this is what he said. If someone approached me in the grocery store, I would heal them, Dreamer explained. I would go 100% all in. I couldn't say, John Cena, stop doing all these commercials. His social media is still uplifting. I don't think he can do that. He contradicted this with a past generation's approach, recalling how Macho Man Randy Savage, RIP, would appear on mainstream talk shows like the Astro Hall Show in full gimmick, never breaking character. Why the fuck did I say it like that? I mean, it's a bunch of bullshit that Tommy Dreamer said. It is what it is. My opinion is simply, you know, and John Cena, motherfucker John Cena, it's, you know, I wish his heel turn was a little bit better than what we got so far. I will say, though, John Cena has gone on record recently and said that, you know, we're going to be expecting the unexpected. So I'm like, all right, what we talking about? What we finna do? What you finna do? Motherfucker better do something, because your heel turn, his heel turn's been okay. I would say okay. As of recent, it's been fucking beast. Doing his... Hey, man. I know John Cena has been cutting promos throughout his lifetime. He's one of the greatest, if not the greatest in some people's eyes, you know, promos in WWE history. Best promo in the game is John Cena. Respect. But that promo, that pipe bomb promo that he cut on CM Punk, reenacting what we got with Punk years ago when John Cena was taken out, all Monday Night Raw roles were just reversed here. That's one of the best John Cena promos of all time for me personally. And a lot of people genuinely feel that way. So it's real interesting how John Cena's heel turn is gone. And John Cena said that we are going to be seeing a lot more better stuff from him in the coming months. All right, we're going to see what happens. So I'm interested to see how that's going to go. The Rock needs to comment on the "I'm taking your soul" bullshit. Like, The Rock is tripping. He tripping, man. My bad, guys. Little glitch in the system. My bad. I apologize. Let's get back on track. The Rock, like I said, he tripping. But it is what it is. I feel like the WWE with the John Cena heel turn, he said he has more things in the pipeline. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's see how that's going to transpire. Cody Rhodes discusses about turning heel, only exits on Twitter, but says never say never. Quote, well, one thing I've noticed about that is it really exists on X? Is that, like, it's deep, the discussion. It's a real deep discussion. I do real deep discussions here. And I don't even, you never say never in wrestling, but, you know, plenty of people, all right, he's trying to dance around the bullshit. They've got the capacity for the light and the dark, but I don't know. I don't know if we're on that road with the time that I have left on my time in wrestling. Who knows, though? You never know. Never say never. All right, man. They're all about that never say never bullshit, you know. Hey, listen, if Cody Rhodes is going to turn heel, do that. What's the dude's name on the boys? Lander or something. Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know who I'm talking about. We need to get that version of Cody Rhodes as a heel, blonde hair as he has it, or have it be a dark hair, and play that persona on the boys, but as a heel, right? Want to be Superman type of thing, but twisted in a narcissistic fashion. Come on, man. Let's do something like that with Cody Rhodes turning heel. But again, I don't think Cody Rhodes has a lot left. I'm brutally honest with you. I don't think he has a lot left in WWE and pro wrestling. And I could definitely see him retiring in the near future. So it is what it is. We'll see. I want to end it with this, guys. I want to end it with a real discussion real quick, a real conversation I want to have with y'all real quick about, you know, Carmelo Hayes, man. A lot of discord, a lot of love shown to Carmelo Hayes. A lot of people are giving their 2 cents with the lack of push, the lack of direction. They're talking about how Triple H just lost love for Carmelo Hayes, that Carmelo Hayes get in trouble from a creative standpoint. Did he do some bullshit? We don't know. I love Carmelo Hayes. I'm a big fan of Carmelo Hayes. He is him, just like I'm him. You feel me? But Carmelo Hayes is definitely him. He's one of the best in the world, one of the best in WWE. And the way he's been portrayed right now is highly disrespectful. A lot of people really want to see Carmelo Hayes shine. I want to see the nigga shine. He a beast. You feel me? But the discord with Carmelo Hayes, man, is crazy. And I don't know if WWE is doing all this stuff on purpose to get the love and admiration from Carmelo Hayes and push it to, to a point where it's kind of like a Brian Danielson type of situation. That's kind of what it seems like, because the hate that WWE is getting regarding Carmelo Hayes is crazy. Braun Breaker, Tiffany Stratton. You feel me? These people are being booked and presented on TV in top roles, but where the fuck is Carmelo Hayes? You feel me? Like, real talk. Where Carmelo Hayes at? You feel me? So that type of stuff, people are just frustrated. People are just frustrated with the lack of push and direction for Carmelo Hayes. I'm one of them. And I think Carmelo Hayes needs to be, pushed in a prominent role. At the same time, WWE might have plans for the guy. So let's not really jump to conclusions. Let's kind of wait and see what's going to take place with Carmelo Hayes before we just start jumping the gun and start talking and yapping like wrestling fans always do. And then we eventually get what we want. And then we look like total fools at the end. But at the end of the day, though, I'd rather be a fool than sit back and watch one of my favorites not be pushed and not directionless like Carmelo Hayes right now, when, people are on this race war with Triple H that he doesn't book black talent. Yes, he does, man. Yes, he does. You guys are just frustrated that Carmelo Hayes is not being booked. So now you're using the race card. You guys got to do better, man. Guys got to do better. Black people are being positioned in high regard in the WWE main roster and especially NXT. We want more on the main roster, yes. We want more of it on the main roster, but they're being positioned. So let's cut the shit. Cut the Triple H's racist bullshit. Let's stop that noise. Y'all got to do better. Y'all are just frustrated that Carmelo Hayes is not being booked and positioned in the proper manner that you feel he deserves. I completely agree with you on that. It's some bullshit. It's some bullshit, and Triple H better fix it. For real talk. But don't use the race card on Triple H. Stop doing that. Be better. Be better each and every day, guys. All right? Grind, do your thing each and every day. It's a blessing to be alive. It's a blessing to go chase your dreams. I'm trying to chase mine right now. And we just got to keep the grind. We got to keep our head to the ground, feet to the fire, and do our thing. Like Nipsey also says, the marathon continues. The marathon continues right here on the Wrestling Takeover Podcast, the most creative and honest podcast in the space. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know the vibes. It's your host, Jordan Turner, and I'll see y'all back with 2 new upcoming videos, one regarding Rhea Ripley and one regarding Roman Reigns, dropping later this week. So tap in. This is the Wrestling Takeover Podcast. I'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a good one.